Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Eileen, and this is Medicine Walk. And for those of you who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio, this is Healing House Radio. So, what a long, strange trip it has been. About after just over a month of not being able to drink our tap water because of contaminants, we got the word, yay, we can now use our tap water. And I mean, this was like no boil, no drink, don't shower with it, all of that stuff. So it was really exciting to have that resolved. And then we were told that we were going to lose power for 2 days. So the stuff that I wanted to be able to record, I was hoping to be able to put something out on yesterday. Turned out, nope, that wasn't going to happen. There's no power, no internet, no nothing. And it's really interesting because it's during those times when, there is no power, and when you're up in the mountains, as soon as it hits evening, it gets dark. And the idea that, wow, it's a reminder that I do live in the mountains, that I do live in a cabin in the woods. And when we have a convenience removed, it's amazing how much we think about it, how much we appreciate it. And it really is important to consider that often when something happens that takes us out of our comfort zone, one of the added benefits of it is, other than, we grow, we learn patience, we learn moderation, we learn to be flexible. And most importantly, we learn to appreciate. We learn to appreciate the little things. With COVID, I really miss just going up and hugging people and hugging my friends. And it was just something we always did, and nobody really thought about it. And now it's just like, wow, I have a hard time remembering the last time that I just walked up to a friend and gave them a hug. And that, we always have certain things. And when you don't have it, it's like, that's the one thing. It's sort of like going on a diet and you have to rule out one thing, then your brain like locks onto it. So we key in on that which we are being denied. It's wanting what we don't have. And this year has just kind of been one lesson after another in learning to adapt. And it's necessary. And as this year comes to a close, dumpster fire that it has been, I hope that everybody is working on something that they can say, hey, no matter what, yes, I went through 2020, but I've got this thing that I set into motion, that I chose to set into motion. And it was interesting because I was talking with someone about that, and they said, well, your house made it through the fire. And I said, yes, and I'm very grateful for that. And that was not something I had any control over, and it was not something that I had the power of choosing. And see, that's a difference. I feel that there's a difference between what we endure and what we consciously bring into our lives and choose to create. When we endure something, and I don't want to give any thought that, when we endure, that's not something special. It is. It is amazingly special. It is amazingly important. And it really, is that point of strength that we should all be very proud of. If we make it through something and we're able to find balance with it and, be able to somehow stumble through, and it may not be pretty, but, it's there. That's different from consciously choosing to create something, of bringing it in, of, doing the research, of, making it happen. And, maybe it doesn't work out quite so well the first time, so maybe you need to redo it. But there's that whole process that goes with actually bringing something in that you choose to bring in, which is different from being able to endure things that you had no control over. The PG&E going out, that was not something that I could control. That was not something that I could choose. And the best I could do was adapt to it. And, I put out a tweet that, was like, okay, the power's going out. There's stuff I wanted to do. I'm not going to be able to do it. And victory sometimes comes in the ability to just accept what you can't control and make the most of what you've got and say, damn it, I'm going to have a good day anyway. And this year has been one lesson after another of, damn it, I'm going to have a good day anyway. Damn it, I'm going to have a good year anyway. Damn it, I'm going to end this year with something that I am going to be happy about, to be positive about, that is going to set the stage for 2021. And it is that piece of being able to enter the new year, not, defeated, but triumphant. Not as a victim, but as a survivor. And that comes from within. That, and it has been horrific in a lot of ways for a lot of different people. There have been losses in my family, and there may be more, and it is, it can be hard. It can be brutal. And even in the face of all of that, being able to say, I created something. I set something that makes me happy into motion. So what are you setting into motion that makes you happy? And, a lot of people are at a point where they don't even know what would make them happy. They can barely remember what happy feels like, because it always feels as if everything else is controlling what we can do. Controlling, how we go out, where we can go out, how we walk in this world, how we work. And, there's a lot more rules right now than we're accustomed to. And being able to work within all of that and still be able to create something. And it doesn't matter what. Maybe you've always wanted to put together a 3,000 piece puzzle, or, you've decided that you hate the curtains in your bedroom and you want to change that. It can be as simple as, it doesn't have to be something huge. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be something very small, as long as it's meaningful to you. And there is that piece of adaptation. There's that piece of resilience. And you are resilient. You can adapt. And it can be hard, especially if you have people around you maybe who aren't quite so keen on adapting. And you're not being encouraged to make changes. Maybe you've got someone who says, putting together a puzzle would be stupid. It's boring. And, that kind of takes away from it. Or, there's nothing wrong with the curtains. They're fine. And that can take away from it. It's easy to take what we want and what would make us happy and put it second to popular opinion. And that's something we need to overcome. And maybe that's the thing that you want to create for the new year. You want to find a way to not do that. I mean, yes, we always have to, consider when the good of the few, or the good of the many outweigh the good of the few or the one. And does it have to be the rule? Does it have to be always deciding, well, if they say it's dumb, then I guess I won't do it. Or, if they don't like the idea, if these people in my life don't like the idea of it, then I'm going to walk away. If it's important to you, it's important. If it's what you want to have, it doesn't matter what it is. I made a choice that I was going to eat better, that I was going to lose some weight, and that I was going to be more conscious. And through that process, I've discovered just how unhealthy my eating habits were and what was motivating me. So probably the biggest thing that I'm going to be taking into 2021 is that I will have changed that relationship. And it is a work in progress, and, and I'm still working with it. And I'm enjoying this process because I'm seeing how I can change. And, the fact that I have lost some weight and I feel more energy, and I'm working on sleeping better, because actually sleeping is a big part of weight loss. If you're not sleeping well, your body doesn't lose weight as much. And, research it, look that up, you'll find it. And the idea that as I looked at my relationship with food, I realized that there were other things that I had an unhealthy relationship with. And it's important to recognize those. And it's not about blame. It's not about, oh, well, I'm just so, horrible and weak and all of this stuff. No, it's actually empowering to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm really good and I can be better. And I'm pretty sure I love myself, and I can love myself more. And I can feel good about where I am and what I'm doing, whatever it is you want to do. And it's important to figure out, because it's not something, I don't want anybody to think it's like, oh my gosh, I've got to get down to my goal weight by, New Year's Eve. No. Unless your goal weight is like maybe to lose, well, let's say it would lose 10 pounds between now and New Year's Eve. Okay, that. But, if you're really making a major change, the change is enough. You don't have to reach a particular goal in your mind and say, oh, well, I need to reach that goal. It's like, no, because you've reached it by setting the process into motion and maintaining momentum and figuring out how to do it in a good way for you. And, and I've struggled with my weight for, really almost most of my adult life since I started having kids. And one time when I did lose a bunch of weight, it was not for the right reason, and I gained it back. So now this is something I want to do for me. I want to do for my sons, mostly for them, because I want to be as healthy as I can be so they don't have to worry about me. So if the thing that you're thinking about setting into motion is something that will improve your life, something that will help you be able to be there for others in a better way, then, I'd say that's a win-win. So whatever it is you decide, and even if it is putting together a puzzle, if that makes you happy, it reduces your stress. And maybe you learn that you love putting together puzzles. And maybe, you start hanging out with people who like putting together puzzles, even if it's just online, virtually. You can do any type of gathering. And being able to bring something in your life that makes you happy, that allows you to help others to be able to be happy as well. Because there's nothing that can cheer a person up like being around somebody who is excited about something that they're doing, who is positive, because positivity can be very, very contagious. And by doing that, it can also inspire somebody else to do something that they want to, have in their lives, whatever they want to create. Maybe they want to, create a domino train that goes all over their living room, and that one moment when you tip that one and then you watch it all go. So keep in mind that if you're dealing with somebody who kind of wants to rain on your parade a little bit about what you choose, that, like, well, that's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be. If it makes you happy, it's good enough. That's the only reason you need to do something or to create something in your life, is something that makes you happy, something that helps to lighten your burden, and something that you will be proud to say, hey, I did this. Check it out. I did this thing. Whatever it is. Maybe your first watercolor painting, or, maybe your first time making a, souffle. And yeah, maybe it won't come out, exactly as you hope it would the first time, but that's the thing. You just do it over and over again, and then you get better, and then you get good. And then maybe that leads to that one dish that you decide, it's like, man, I got this down. And then maybe it's like, I'd really like to go to cooking school, or maybe I'm going to take a few cooking classes. Because whatever that one thing is, you can expand on it. You can be able to say, I mean, for me, getting into shape, getting into a more healthy shape, then it's like, well, maybe I'd like to learn to jog, or maybe I'd like to, do Zumba, or, maybe I always wanted to, maybe I'd like to learn how to do yoga. And once you reach a goal, that's the thing. That's not a finish line. It's a starting point for something else. It's a starting point for the next dream. So if you think about who you want to be or what you want to be, and that dream realized, understand that person, when you are that person, you are going to have another dream. You'll go, wow, that was awesome. I did it. Now what else can I do? And it's that what else can I do that can often make the difference in a person's life, whether or not they're just existing each day or whether or not they're really living. And I wish living for all of you that none of us know how much time we have. None of us. And making the most of the time that we have and having the most, enjoyment that we can out of it. That's the key. That's where balance comes in. There's a lot we can't control, but the stuff we can control, we can make the most of. So good luck with that. And, there's still plenty of time to choose something to do to make you happy that you can show off on New Year's Eve. So, thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can connect with me through my Facebook group, Medicine Walk with Dr. Eileen. You can reach out to me on Twitter. I am also on Discord. And for those of you who are interested in gaming or all things gaming, or if you play around on Twitch, then please check out my my stream. I do a live stream. I'm doing it Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in the evenings at 8:30 p.m. Pacific. And it's sort of a safe space support group type of thing for gamers. So if you're curious about that, then please check it out. If you want to support the work that I'm doing, you can subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. And you can like the video. If you have any questions, comment. And you can also go over to Twitch, and if you would like to support me there, then you can follow me. So I'm building up to becoming an affiliate. So that's very exciting. And, that's another thing that I'm really wanting to put into motion for the new year, to have that piece. And, it's fun live streaming. It's a little unpredictable, but it's a lot of fun. And my other YouTube channel that I've created called The Gaming Doc, and it's TH3 Gaming Doc. And you can go there and see the live streams that I'm posting. Once the stream is complete, then I download it and I can post it there. So, lots going on. And for those of you who are wondering, and, thank you so much for those of you who have asked about Sam. He is still with us. Medication is keeping him very comfortable. And each day is kind of a decision, that is today a good day? And at the point when today stops being a good day, well, then that means a conversation. It means doing something else. But for now, the medication keeps him, really comfortable. He sleeps a lot, but he rests well. And so thank you all for those of you who have asked me about him and who, have been so sweet. And, and everybody has that, that special pet that they've lost that they think about. So again, thank you for joining me. As always, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you, and see you next time. PG&E allowing. Bye.